The date is Friday, July 23. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Health and Wellness Ministry is sounding the alarm over rising COVID-19 cases on the island. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton expressed grave concern at Thursday's virtual COVID-19 conversation. For her part, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bessessa-McKenzie confirmed that the COVID-19 positivity rate and bed occupancy are at high levels. She also says not enough Jamaicans have been vaccinated to achieve herd immunity and lessen transmission. The Health Ministry's CMO, Dr. Jacqueline Bessessa-McKenzie, says Hanover and Westmoreland are reporting the highest increase in confirmed COVID-19 cases. She says social events could count as one of the reasons for the uptick in numbers.
Parishes with the highest absolute numbers include KC, St. Catherine, and Westmoreland. But when we look at the number of cases per population, then Hanover and Westmoreland have the highest rate, and significantly so. So we ask the question, why is this happening? We observe that Westmoreland and Hanover are testing a little bit more than they were in the past. However, there seems to be a genuine increase in cases as the cases are not linked to other cases. So these are new cases coming up in the communities. And so there is an increase. On the ground, we are observing that persons are not following protocol. They're not wearing masks, not physically distant, being physically distant, and they're holding more events. They're holding more home events, especially funeral services are being held in the homes because they feel the churches are too strict. They are holding events in remote areas to avoid scrutiny.
Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton explains the reason for concern.
Trends do suggest that we're heading in a direction, and that pace of increase can become a lot more aggressive if it continues on this trajectory. It also suggests that something is happening which would have started before you see the trend, and therefore it will get worse before it gets better.
He also responded to concerns regarding the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus.
We do not have any evidence of the Delta variant being here from the tests that have been done, but these tests are ongoing. We send samples out every week. And while there's no confirmatory test, I am prepared to say that we should assume that the variant is here. And I'm prepared to say that because the probability of it being here is probably greater than it not being here based on the border access and the travel restriction removal, including coming from countries where the Delta variant is now the dominant variant.
According to Dr. Tufton, only 122,000 Jamaicans have received their second dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. The number is less than the target population.
I know that persons have been critical, and this is our democracy, so persons are well entitled to give their views around the extent of vaccination in the country. And I've seen every reason for why we are not vaccinating more persons. It is true that unvaccinated persons are going to be a lot more vulnerable. And in the context of a surge, they need to be particularly careful. As I said earlier, vaccinated persons who could transmit to those who are unvaccinated.
He says vaccination efforts have been facing serious hurdles.
The truth is, it is and has not been for a lack of effort on the part of those who have been responsible for sourcing, communicating, negotiating, in some instances, even asking for a sort of preferential, if you will, treatment to access, whether for pay or as a gift, vaccines.
The Health and Wellness Minister says his team is prepared to weather the challenges should a third wave of the pandemic hits, and they will be working with other ministries and agencies to procure safe and effective vaccines. Jamaica's Consul General to New York, Alcyon Roach Wilson, has donated 1,400 computers to the education sector. The items were handed over by the Consul General at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information on Wednesday. These include 1,337 tablets and 115 laptops. Portfolio Minister Favour Williams welcomed the donations and said the continuous efforts of Mrs. Roach Wilson have resulted in the, quote, flow of devices into Jamaica and into the hands of our students through the National Education Trust, end quote. The computers are part of the One Laptop or Tablet per Child initiative instituted by the government to enable students to actively participate in the online learning environment. Since November 2020, the Consul General and other stakeholders in the Jamaican diaspora in the United States have mobilized approximately $82 million in donations. Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, said friendship and compassion have been demonstrated through the effort. The We Transform Mentorship Program, in partnership with the Crime Prevention and Community Safety Unit of the Ministry of National Security, will be expanding its operations in 12 volatile communities across Kingston. The We Transform Mentorship Program hosted its first successful parent session on Thursday to encourage the development of mentor-mentee relationships and set goals for the one-year mentorship tenure, which commenced on July 21, 2021. Manager for At-Risk Youth Mentorship Program, Russell Daly, encouraged the mentors to develop strategic plans that will assist the mentees to achieve self-actualization. The We Transform Mentorship Program comprises 200 mentors and targets at-risk, unattached youth. It was launched in 2018 and its focus is the rehabilitation and reintegration of youth offenders within the 4 juvenile facilities of the Department of Correctional Services. Jamaica's National Festival Song Competition is a great opportunity for songwriters, musicians, and performers. On Thursday, July 22, Stacious was named the winner of Jamaica's 2021 National Festival Song Competition. She beat out 11 other contestants to walk away with the top prize at the virtual event, which attracted thousands of viewers in Jamaica and across the world. Marlon Samuels transports us back to what was a night of memorable performances.
I'm dreaming of a new Jamaica, a land of peace and love. Oh God, yeah. I'm dreaming of a new Jamaica, a land of peace and love. Dreaming of a new Jamaica, a land of peace and love. I believe in love. Come sing this song with me. All who believe in love, come sing this song. I'm in a now, la 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 la.
Previous winners of Jamaica's National Festival Song Competitions set the tone for what was to be a truly memorable event.
Give thanks and praises, we are still alive. Though the road was rocky and the hills were steep, still we survive. We would have faith and trust in our Father. He's keeping us alive. So give thanks and praises. Mix me! So put your hand in the deep and I praise you. I praise you. I find a love in the nation, I praise you. I let all the people praise you. The potential and the possibilities are awesome because these songs can also be, interest can be generated in these songs. Say, for example, to be in the soundtrack of a movie. If that happens, synchronization rights in using a song in a movie attracts a good song. And so what we have done is to prepare these songs and provide these songs to the world so that they can be exploited
in the interest of those who have participated in the competition.
The 2021 National Festival Song Competition placed the spotlight on 12 performers who brought their A game.
And in the ear when you jumping, you whine and you whine and you wiggle and you wiggle and you jiggle and you ballin'. Turn your roll and you ballin'. Again now. And in the ear when you jumping, you whine and you whine and you wiggle and you wiggle and you jiggle and you ballin'. Turn your roll and you ballin'.
I wanna drop straight out of the rumba back. Make sure that me put on me rumba sock. And then me drop in me rumba boot. Cause me already a born me rumba suit. Hey, I want a girl from the rumba group. Cause me just done drink some cucumber juice. Rooster at lad, no time for roast. When me step out, me no look for ghost. Cause Senorita con dash out the rumba. Bump around with the looks of Zumba.
They used props and dancers to create a narrative that brought the songs to life and enhanced performances.
What you say? Jamaica is my name. So run, come on, and the run and come on. Join the great celebration of our country standing tall. With our hearts and hands as one, may we sing this your song. Happy birthday, Jamaica, land of sea and sun.
Jamaica, Jamaica, worldwide straight from abroad. My sweet Jamaica, Jamaica, everybody want for my yard. Jamaica, Jamaica, worldwide straight from abroad.
At the end of the star-studded performances, third place went to Tomo J with his entry, Real Talk.
Turn it up, love. Aye, real talk, real talk, real talk. Aye, no we no better than God. Real talk, real talk, real talk. Yeah, we love my little island bad. Real talk, real talk, real talk. Aye, no we no better than God. Real talk, real talk, real talk. We love my little island jam.
One of the competition's favorites, DB, finished second. He also copped the Best Performer award for his entry titled Love Jamaica My Land.
Me love Jamaica, my land. Yeah, me love Jamaica Island. Roast couple fish, breadfruit I am. Sure, breadfruit I am. Go check the jerk man, clean the chicken out of pan. You better put that chicken out of pan. Come and need some food for my cousin Winston. We're just flying from England. Oh.
But the night belonged to dancehall artist Stacious with her entry titled Jamaican Spirit.
Never have everything, no, it never easy. But me live good, wouldn't change it, believe me. Mommy make sure, oh me grow, respect me for sure. Take a little bit, make everything nice. This is a new day, and I'm thankful for another chance to win. I am a fighter, a survivor, and I'm never giving in. Never gonna stop, never gonna fail, never been afraid to try again.
She was awarded the trophy and a cash prize of $3 million. Known in dancehall circles for her hard-hitting and infectious lyrics, Stacious is the fourth lady to win the festival song competition.
Born a winner, my destiny's to shine. Proud I stand out and come to claim what's mine. Born a winner, my destiny's to shine. Proud I stand out and come to claim what's mine. This is a new day and I'm thankful for another chance to win.
For the news on PBCJ, I am Marlon Samuels.
And I'm never giving in, never gonna stop.
For those with an appetite for investment, Sygnus Real Estate Finance had its initial public offer or IPO launch on Thursday. The Sygnus Group is a Caribbean-based alternative investment solutions firm which operates across 3 interconnected businesses, namely investment banking, investment management, and tax advisory. The IPO opens today, Friday, July 23. One of the joint lead brokers is Sagicor Investment, Mishka McLeod-Hines.
Sagicor Investments is happy to continue our long-standing relationship with the team at Sygnus to bring yet another business venture from the Sygnus Group to market.
The other joint lead broker is Scotiabank Investments. Vice President of Scotia's Capital Markets, Sarah Cummins, said the COVID-19 pandemic hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the investing public.
Despite the pandemic, there remains significant interest from the investing public in the real estate market. Indications are that in the post-pandemic era, there is likely to be a renewed focus on business opportunities across a range of sectors. It is anticipated that this will create more opportunities for development of facilities that support these activities. This will be buoyed by the continued evolution of legislation as well as the government's focus on a framework for national development. Against this background, we anticipate that the real estate market will post robust performances in the post-pandemic recovery phase, particularly in the nascent commercial, light manufacturing, and logistics segments.
Sygnus Vice President and Chief Investment Officer Jason Morris says the IPO is a must for savvy investors who want to maximize dividends.
The way that SRF now generates return for you shareholders is when it exits its equity positions in the joint venture partnerships, the strategic property investments, and the developments, it gets capital gains, and when it generates current income from the real estate investment notes, you combine those two things together, you get total returns. So, what are we offering? We're offering 3.9 billion opportunities to invest in a specialty real estate investment company that unlocks value in real estate in a unique way. And that unique way, as I could have described, is through proprietary investments and secondary partnerships.
How can one avoid insolvency? In today's extended business report with Gabriel Thompson, we'll get some working insights on this issue, plus get our regular market updates.
In Thursday's trading session, the JSE combined index advanced by 757 points to close at over 421,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 93 stocks, of which 36 advanced, 40 declined, and 76 traded firm. The junior market index advanced by 11 points to close at over 3,000 units. Stocks advanced for 138 Student Living, Variable Preference, AMG Packaging and Paper Company Limited, and Berger Paints Jamaica Limited. Stocks declined for 1834 Investments Limited, Barita Investments Limited, and Caribbean Cement Company Limited. Trading firm were 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited, CAC 2000 9.5% preference shares, and Siboney Group Limited. Radio Jamaica Limited was the volume leader with over 4.2 million units, followed by Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with over 2.8 million units, and Sagicor Select Funds Limited Financial with over 2.3 million units. In foreign exchange trading for Thursday, July 22, the US dollar sold for an average $155.85. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $126.17. The pound sterling traded for $213.93, and the euro sold for an average $185.79. In market data for oil, prices trimmed overnight gains on Friday but were poised to end the week largely steady after rebounding from a sharp drop underpinned by expectations supply will remain tight as demand recovers. Brent crude futures fell 7 cents to $73.72 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude fell 8 cents to settle at $71.83 a barrel, following a 2.3% gain on Thursday. Today, we revisit the business reports interview with the Office of the Supervisor of Insolvency, OSI. As we continue to experience life during a pandemic, many persons have seen their financial foundation shaken. The OSI might be able to help you. The coronavirus pandemic hit Jamaican shores in March. Since then, some businesses have laid off workers, some have even closed permanently, and some Jamaicans found themselves unable to pay loans. Despite cash grants from the government, businesses and individuals may become insolvent, meaning being unable to repay debts owed to creditors. This is where the Office of the Supervisor of Insolvency comes in. Let's find out how they can assist. The Office of the Supervisor of Insolvency, OSI, is responsible for two things: regulating the licensing of trustees and supervising all estates under the Insolvency Act. The OSI has been in operation since 2015 as a result of the Insolvency Act of 2014. It is a division of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. Fayola Evans Roberts is the Deputy Supervisor of Insolvency. She says the office is focused on helping Jamaicans avoid being declared insolvent or bankrupt.
The insolvency regime, for the first time, we're focusing on rehabilitation. That is certainly the avoidance of bankruptcy. So what we want are persons to initiate the process before they go into bankruptcy. It has been probably a Jamaican thing where, they take long to initiate, persons wait until the last minute to act, but if they come in time, then they're able to avoid bankruptcy.
A person under the Insolvency Act refers to both individuals and corporate institutions. Here's how it works.
An insolvent under the Act means you either reside in Jamaica, or you own business in Jamaica, or you have property in Jamaica, and you owe a minimum of $300,000, and you're unable to pay your obligations as they become due. In order to access the insolvency regime, you'll have to do so through a trustee. What the trustee will do is administer your estate to make sure that you either make a proposal to your creditors, or if you're unable to make a proposal, to put you in bankruptcy, because that's the final analysis of it. If you're unable to pay your creditors, then you'll have to go into bankruptcy. So insolvency is different. It's separate from being a bankrupt.
The OSI, however, is not limited to assisting large corporate bodies. Mrs. Evans Roberts says help is offered to everyone.
Anybody, yes, you can come. Yes, small business, business name, you can, as long as you owe a minimum of $300,000 and you're unable to pay your obligations as they become due, or you have stopped paying those obligations, the OSI can assist you.
The economic fallout from the coronavirus pandemic has impacted Jamaican businesses. The Planning Institute of Jamaica projected economic contraction between 4% and 6% for 2020-2021. There are provisions under the insolvency regime to help businesses.
Especially because of the expected fallout that from COVID, that is certainly going to be coming. If it hasn't hit them yet, we're sure it's going to. We are aware of the many things that has happened. One of the things that persons can do is to make a proposal to avoid bankruptcy. A proposal can be commenced by a notice of intention to make a proposal to your creditors. And one of the benefits of that is as soon as you file a notice of intention, all court proceedings are stayed.
That gives you time.
That gives you time. That's one of the things that companies would want at this time, in order to be given some time so that you don't have to file for bankruptcy now.
The OSI has also been making moves on behalf of individuals, creating special proposals for those with student loans.
We would approach your creditor on your behalf and come to an agreement for whatever settlement that would be. The majority of things that we saw during that time was that the creditors agreed to accept a reduction in the amount that they pay monthly. So persons were really benefited, and the creditors were really open to assisting individuals during that time.
What if you have met your recent financial obligations but are worried about the future? Under the Insolvency Act, there is what is considered the person who is imminently insolvent.
It's the same persons who you reside in, you have business in Jamaica, you owe the minimum of $300,000. But importantly, you reasonably anticipate that within 12 months, something is going to happen and you will be unable to pay your obligations, to meet your obligation. So it hasn't happened yet, but within 12 months it may happen. You can still access the proposal regime under the Insolvency Act.
You can contact the OSI by calling these numbers: 876-929-8332, 876-619-1475-6, or by emailing info.osi@mycaf.gov.jm. For the Business Report on PBCJ, I'm Gabrielle Thompson.
In regional news, a student of the Plainview Combined School in St. Lucia earned a place in the top 10 performers of the 2021 Common Entrance exams. Despite the achievement, education officials say a lot of work lies ahead in overcoming the setbacks of the coronavirus pandemic.
Leila Leon, the lone student from the South, secured the 10th place in the Common Entrance exam. On Wednesday, the Plainview Combined teachers pored over the results of students ahead of distribution to parents and students.
Today we got our Common Entrance results, and although we are happy with what we got, but we expected better. Plainview continues to do quite well, above the national mean. We have one student, Leila Leon, who placed 10th island-wide, and she's the only one from the South, and we are elated for that. But the second place student for us is Petin Xavier, and she came in at number 14.
Principal of the Plainview Combined Primary School, Ella Thomas John, laments the major setbacks that befell the students of the South.
We had students that were not able to be engaged. Our teachers went all out. They prepared packages, they chopped at homes, they did as much as we did, but there's only so much that we can do. The parents themselves have to put in their part and ensure that the children do their work when they are at home. And being in the relaxed atmosphere that students were, they did not put in as much work as they were supposed to.
Despite the challenges and unexpected results, the Plainview Combined School remains hopeful that with the new system to replace the anxiety-causing exam, the overall work of students throughout grade 5 and 6 will provide a better assessment of their academic abilities.
According to what the students did with the pandemic and other things that came their way, the challenges they overcame, we are satisfied. But in the future, we have to analyze and work hard to ensure that our mean goes up even higher.
Thomas John is optimistic of a return to normalcy in the new school term in September. St. Lucia will abolish the Common Entrance exams and move to the Enhanced Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, CPEA. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
In sports, it was long in coming, but it's here. The Tokyo Summer Olympics has finally opened. Belated and beleaguered, the virus-delayed games finally opened Friday night with cascading fireworks and made-for-TV choreography that unfolded in a near-empty stadium. The games had been delayed from 2020 owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. Jamaica has sent a 61-member track and field team to the Olympics led by Pocket Rocket, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. The team also includes 2016 Olympic sprint double champion Elaine Thompson-Herah, as well as surprise elite sprinter Sharika Jackson. In form, Stephanie Ann McPherson and rising talent Candice McLeod are also on the roster, as well as rising sprint hurdlers Megan Tapper and Brittany Anderson. Brianna Williams, the 2018 World Under-20 Sprint double champion, makes her first Olympic team as a reserve for the 100 meters and a member of the 4x100 meters relay squad. The team also includes the 2012 double Olympic silver medalist Johan Blake, along with Demish Gay and a proven 110 hurdles trio of Ruan Levy, the 2018 Commonwealth Games champion Damian Thomas and Hansel Parchment. We can also report that Jamaican gymnast Denisha Francis has torn ACL. Due to this knee injury, Ms. Francis says she will only be contesting the bars in this Olympic Games. She made the announcement on her Instagram page saying she's happy with her performance thus far and she's enjoying her experience. And that's our package. On behalf of our entire hard-working production crew, thanks for watching and pleasant viewing.